Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Is It Me or Is It Everyone? So, this is my first episode from my studio, my small little humble studio. And I came today with my jar and the question of the week, which is what is your biggest fear? Today was actually the best day for me to shoot this episode because today I got relieved of my worst fear. You may ask how. I'll explain. I'm here to rant, right? So I'm gonna talk. For those who don't know me, so recently I went back home to my country to visit my parents, and on my visit there, I discovered that my mother had a brain tumor. And I know all mothers are important to us. I know that mothers mean the world to everybody, but for me, my mother is everything. She's my strength, she's my inspiration. Anywhere I'll go, I'll just think, what if she was with me here? We would have had fun. If I eat something, I would just think, oh my God, I wish she was here. She would have tried this with me. So she's always there in the back of my mind. And I feel like my whole world revolves around her. I'm praying I don't cry in this video. I'm praying. So when I went back home, we discovered she had a brain tumor, and we didn't know if it's cancerous or benign, and that was the biggest confusion. And unfortunately, in my country, as we see now, the current situation in India about education, health, there is a field that is filled with issues and failure from the government side. So we went through hell to find out only that it's removable by surgery. And my mother went through a brain surgery in which she had 15 stitches in the back of her head. And we were waiting for the biopsy report to tell us finally if it's cancerous or not cancerous, for us to move on with life, for her to feel happy, to feel healthy and all. So today the results came, and she's cancer free. She doesn't have cancer. It was just a hemorrhage, like I don't know what you call it, like a hemorrhoid, I think. It was a small bleeding. So as today I conquered my biggest fear, I hope all of you hear good news and all of your fears go away very soon. I'm praying for everybody, and let's get into business. Yeah. So this is our jar, and let's start reading your answers. We're gonna talk about them. Okay, let's take the first file. As I said in my stories, I tried to categorize them a little bit. I don't know if I succeeded or not. Afra actually did. Hi, Afra. I'm not gonna take your credit, okay? So for our first, oh, this hits home. This hits home, guys. This hits home. So basically, she said, or he said, being remembered is one, and I think not being remembered for playing it safe, meaning somebody just plays it safe, they stay under the wall, they live in the shadows, and that's it. I'm a person who played it my whole life safe. I always loved being in the shadows. I've never took risks, I would say. And now I'm snapping out of it. After my mother got sick, that's, I think, the thing that changed me the most in the previous episode. I realized that life is actually very temporary and it's gonna pass. So I should just jump. What will happen? If I fail, I'll fail. If I'll succeed, I'll succeed also. Okay, for our second paper, it's not becoming rich and independent by the age of 26. I feel like we put a lot of criteria for ourselves, like very high criteria. By 26, you want to be extremely rich and independent. Girl, girl, it's okay, take your time. It can happen at 26, it can happen at 30, it can happen at 40, it can happen at 50, it can happen at 60. So don't put limits for yourself. It's okay, it will happen eventually. It's not a fear that should take over your life or take over your whole being. Okay, third paper that we have here. So, my biggest fear in life is being not able to achieve things in life and not being able to take care of my parents. That is true. This is a fear of mine also. It was actually a fear of mine. So it was a fear of mine also not to be independent, middle class. Intentionally or unintentionally, sorry, the parents sometimes raise these middle class kids as being parents themselves. So they make them feel like they need to recompensate them in the future, or they have to take certain responsibility upon their shoulders. which is very heavy. I'm saying, like, extremely heavy. Growing up, becoming an adult, even a teenager, you just keep getting it. So this full pile here, I'm just gonna summon it up. I just read 3 papers of it. It's about potential and achievements in life. Whether here it is not reaching my full potential or missing on life. Here we have getting stuck in life, as I read. We have also being remembered for playing safe. All of these are the fear of achieving or the fear of reaching our objectives. And I know, as banal and stupid it will seem now for me to say it, but what will fear change eventually? That's what I'm saying. Like, what will fear change? Even if our goals are not achieved, even if we are still struggling, even if things are tough, will fear change it to the best? No. Will fear make it better? No. It will only keep you behind. In my opinion, of my own experience, fear has handicapped me in ways I've never imagined. Meaning, I will have full potential to do this action A. Okay? For example, let's take a stupid example like flipping a bucket. I can flip this bucket so well. I'm so good. I can just do like this. It's 2 actions. I'm capable. I have the physical strength to do it. But I started thinking, oh my God, what if the bucket is heavy? Oh my God, what if my hand slips? Oh my God, what if I can't do it? What if something comes under the bucket? What will happen? A task that was so easy for me becomes extremely difficult. And I get handicapped and I can't do it anymore. So I don't think fear changes things. So try as much as you can to embrace your objectives instead of having fear going through them. Okay? Okay, for our second category now, we have the financial fear or fear of financials, which is a big pile. So I'm just going to read a few examples. It's to become poor, being average in life, not being able to fulfill success and make money, dying poor, and the final one is my own success, wondering if I'll ever reach. So this also financial fear, now it's, unfortunately, I say again, it's growing in this generation because it's so difficult for us to make money in such a competitive world built on only making money and not enjoying life anymore. And this I want to address very, very, very seriously. So mostly now what we're doing is all of us are seeing these videos on Instagram. If you just go through your feeds and all, you're just going to see videos on Instagram and all of them how to become a millionaire in 3 days. If you want to make your business succeed, take my course. If you want to do that, then okay, this is for you. I grew from $2 in the ghetto to a businessman in Maldives or Beverly Hills or whatever it's called. But we never see people having fear or valuing family dinners, being around each other, celebrating each other, having your siblings around, having your family around, being happy. So that is a fear I understand because I had it. But as you grow through life, so for those who don't know, so I'm turning 30 this year. So I'm going to be 30 years old, 30. So I'm growing older and wiser and prettier. Older, wiser, prettier. So I realized that this should not be a fear. There is far more important things in life. And we should just see what's really going very soon. Money will never go, it will always be there. You'll have an opportunity of making money again and again. But what is important in life? That's the challenge. Like your parents existing, siblings being around, as I said. Okay, for our third pile, it's kind of a political fears slash country's condition, meaning social kind of. So I know as a resident of India, what has been going now recently with this educational system failure, with students suffering, and I will not imagine being a parent and seeing my child go through all of that and just staying silent. I understand the frustration, I understand the anger, and let's all just be active and try as much as we can to contribute positively to our countries generally. So I'm just going to read a few of these. So with the current situation, my biggest fear is to live in a country like India, this person said. For the second one, we have, 1 minute, this is not clear, human connection. We have traffic and unpleasant environment. We have society's mentality. And we have my country's condition, as I said. So all of them mostly as political. Let's see, if we say we're afraid of this thing, but we're not contributing to change it again, it's useless. So what we should do better is, let's all be the bestest version of ourselves when it comes to this. I'm not very familiar and good when it comes to politics, but if I have to give an advice, is be a good citizen, maintain your environment clean, try to be a good neighbor, try to be a good human. Do not encourage racism, do not encourage discrimination in your society, and try as much as you can to be active for the people around you and bring awareness. Go to our next pile. Which pile will we get? Let's see. This one. Okay, so this is love or emotional fear, basically. So it is to love someone and being left alone at the end makes me realize why I wasn't enough for them. This is one. Second, losing a meaningful connection with the right person. Sorry, with the right person. My biggest fear is being married to a toxic person. Girls, I'm coming to this. 1 minute. I'm just gonna put it here aside. I'm just gonna put it here and go back to it. Not being able to find an ideal life partner. To love someone and being left alone at the end. I read this. And losing a meaningful connection. Okay, I read this. So emotional fear is totally popular and acceptable now, more than before, if I have to say. I don't know, I'll say it in the way I think about it. I'm not a perfect person. I want all of my listeners to this podcast to know that I'm not perfect. I don't admire to look perfect for you guys, but I believe that extreme attachment to people will not lead to anywhere good. I know it's harsh to say it and it's cruel, but we shouldn't be extremely attached to a person that when that person leaves, our full life stops. So we should all build something around us, an environment, a routine, a hobby even, that will keep us going. I know it hurts if to lose somebody or to fear loving somebody and being disappointed, but always have a plan B or a environment B where you can just go there and grieve in peace, not lose your mind, meaning you have an environment where you can just sit. You can feel sad about that loss, of course, but you'll have something to do. In the end of the day, you will not be alone and stranded. Okay, so that's my advice. Okay, this, girls, this, for those who are not married yet. So I'm married. I've been married for almost 4 years. So choose wisely, please. Choose wisely, please. This is a man that you're going to live with 24/7. This is a man who's going to exist, or a woman exist with you in the house. This is a man or a woman or a partner who's going to be with you in the times you lose people you love, like your parents, like one of your siblings. This is a person who's going to stand next to you through hardship. This is a person who's going to push you and help you out. This is a person who's going to, God forbids, if you fall sick, take care of you when you can't even go to the bathroom on your own. And that's what I saw in my mother's illness. My father was fully hands-on. My mother and my father were married now for 40 years almost. And when she got sick, that's I think the second time in my life that I saw my dad crying. And he started taking her around, taking her to the bathroom, bringing her back, taking care of her and everything. You guess he was checking the reports and he was extremely worried all the time. And I felt at that moment that my mother is taken care of. She is taken care of. Somebody's there for her. Sorry, everyone, I had a small interruption. I had a call. Okay, for our next pile, and I think it's the pile before last, it is the fear of getting an illness, losing health, seeing somebody you love having a health issue. It's my biggest fear is seeing one of my family members getting sick, losing my loved one, getting sick again, losing my mom, fear of having health issues. So I'm a big advocate, by the way. I don't know if you can see on my Instagram. I don't post much, but I would love to start a new series where I say, cook it with me. So that's the title I'm choosing. I'm a big advocate for taking care of your health and having a very good hygienic lifestyle. It makes a huge difference. For me, I always sleep early. I always wake up at 7. I do gym 4 times a week, and if not, I'll go walking or running. My food is clean, meaning I'll eat junk maybe once a week. I'm off sugar. I'm off anything that's artificial. So I try as much as I can to eat organic food, good fruits, good vegetables. I cook it without oil, butter, and all. And it worked wonders for me. Like I sleep better. I have so much energy during the day, and I take supplements also. So I take omega 3, I used to take iron. So health, take care of your health. Take care of your health, everybody. It's very important. Okay, for our last pile, there's old papers that fell. Let's put our jar here. So it is dying. It's all dying. Dying bitter, to die unhappy. Dying again. Oh my god, so many people are scared of dying. Death. Death again. And at the moment of natural circumstances and death and tsunami, it's all related to death. And I think it differentiates from one person to another when it comes to death. I was just talking recently to one of my friends, and I told them I'm really scared of being buried itself, like being under the dirt and not seeing anybody. And what they answered actually changed my view towards it. So he said, maybe at that time you'll find more peace than you think. It won't be so scary. It is scary because you feel like, okay, I'm there, I'm under, nobody's there, but maybe it's a beautiful transition from here. And I remember her giving that small example of what if dying is like being taken when you fell asleep on the couch by your parents and then being put into the bed and suddenly you find all of your loved ones around you. So I would like to depict it in that way, that we're all gonna die, unfortunately, and it's very difficult also for parents to accept the fear of death because we always have fear for our kids behind us. Like my mother had fear for us. She kept only repeating, what if I don't see you again? Take care of each other and all. So I would like to take death as a beautiful transition rather than an ending. And I would like to think that all of us are gonna die. And if we live 100 years, let's suppose all of us were immortal, like none of us is gonna die. Okay, what do we do with all of that? What do we do with all of that years? Eventually, we'll get tired, our health will get deteriorate, we'll be seeing the same thing, going towards it again and again. So I feel dying itself is a beautiful thing to look up to because it makes you enjoy life more. Like, I may die in any moment, let me just live the day. So that fear of going at any moment creates this beautiful, beautiful enthusiasm towards life. This is how I see it. I know it's difficult for some people to accept, and I hope all of you come in peace with the idea of dying. I hope this episode was brief, short, and nice. Soon we're gonna do a little bit more changes to the episode The Jar. I'll see you soon, guys. Please don't forget to like and share and follow. Bye bye.